Hey, I'm Suzanne,
And I'm Annie,
and we have 111 years
111 years of experience.
experience. And today we are on our Zoom because we've had
It's
an
been,
ice storm.
we've had some ice baby.
Baby, ice.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, we had ice storm, ice Mageddon,
It was
ice.
ice Mageddon.
Yeah, so it's been pretty rough here in the middle of the Tennessees. And
Yeah.
I'm sure we're not the only ones,
No.
but here we go. So
Yep.
we
And
thought
we've been out of school for how many days? Two?
this is day two, and I just found out that we're going to be out two more,
Yep.
like so Wednesday and Thursday.
And Thursday. Yeah. Maybe you'll go
They
back
just
Friday.
called and said Thursday, and they said with the possibility of hopefully getting back on Friday.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's good.
I didn't realize there were people in Laverne and Smyrna that still didn't have power.
Oh wow, no, me neither.
Yeah.
Me neither.
That's what that thing
The
said.
message said,
Hmm. Yep.
yeah. So that's what we've been dealing with. I've been home since Saturday. I haven't left the house since Saturday.
Yeah, I have neither. Barely walked out of the house. Been out of the house twice. Almost lost my life twice.
Yeah, I've been as far as the front porch. Not the back porch, but the front porch.
We walked out to the driveway and it was sketchy.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was very, very sketchy.
Yeah. It's so funny because I feel like as much as I hate the ice, it is
Yeah,
so stinking beautiful.
I know, especially when the sun hits it.
Dangerously beautiful. Oh my gosh, to look at it through the sunlight yesterday
Hmm.
was dazzling.
Yeah, and today too.
Yeah.
It was so pretty this morning, and then it started melting. So and
Yeah.
stuff started like
And now
falling
it's
off, and
melting and starting to fall off a little bit and everything.
yeah.
But my I always like to say my back porch is very shaded. And so it is always my look at that, and that's what the back roads look like. So if
Hmm.
that's what they
Yeah.
look like, we're not ready. They're smart to
No.
wait because if that's what the back roads look like that haven't
Yeah.
been shaded, that are shaded and haven't been touched really, that's
Yeah.
not good. That's really not
Mm-mm.
good.
No. We haven't
So
gotten an ice storm like this in a long
a
time.
long time, like we were, Mike and I were talking about it, and I think it was like oh four, oh four, oh five, maybe was the last time we had an ice storm that was even close.
Yeah.
And then not as, but we weren't here in 93. So you'll have to tell us about 93.
Well, we had like the blizzard, which for around here, it was like 8 inches of snow. So that was a blizzard for us.
Right,
But
right.
8 inches of snow around here in 1993 was like crippling. Nobody could get out. We were gone out of school for the week. Well,
Hmm.
actually, was that the year it was spring break? I feel like it like ruined two of our spring breaks. So we got this big snow. I think it was in March,
Yeah, I think it was
but
early March, right
yeah,
around
it was.
the time Sean was born.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. So the 93 one was the snow, and then the 94 one was the ice.
Yeah,
And it came when I was pregnant with Shannon, and I couldn't go outside because I was afraid I was going to fall, and I was very
yeah,
pregnant. So I was stuck
yeah,
in the house a good 3 or 4 days before it got melted enough where I felt like I could walk and
yeah,
not fall.
yeah. That was the first thing I noticed when I moved here from Indiana, that the difference between like um when you have weather here and when you have weather there. When you have weather there,
Hmm.
everything just still, it may move slow, but it keeps moving. But
Yeah.
they also have the infrastructure to take care of it. And
Yeah.
so even if you have a rural county like I'm from, they still had quite a few. They had a lot of things to do to make it better. And if a lot of people could dig themselves out because they probably had tractors and trucks and all those kind of things.
Yeah.
So a lot of people dug themselves out.
Hmm.
But here they don't have any way of really dealing with it besides a little brine on the streets and the
Yeah.
couple.
Well, now we had a snowplow dude go down our road today, or no, yesterday. He went down it and then he came back up it. Now I don't know if he was a county guy or if he was just somebody that had a truck and a snowplow on the front of his truck. I don't know, but went down and there was a bunch of snow, like, and well, mostly ice, but like the big blocks, you know, how
Right.
people were driving on it and it was slushy and then it hardened into just
Yes.
like chunks and blocks of ice all over the road. So they took that plow and just pushed it. And I was like, well, now you're going to have to drive over that big wall of ice.
Somewhere there's going to be like this hill of
Yeah, and he's got
ice
to
that
run
someone.
and get over it. But I
Yeah.
mean, he got out this morning. He got out early. He had to go to work, so he
Hmm.
got out of the driveway and onto the
Yeah.
road.
Today was
That was the thing, is
the day.
just getting off of our driveway was just
Yeah. Today was the first day to just get out. Like I think a lot of people just finally are sitting getting out today.
yeah. Our road has been nonstop. People are just going up and down, up and down, up and down because it's clear. There's nothing on it.
Yeah. Yeah. You live on it maybe didn't start out as being a busy road, but now it's
It's
busier.
very busy. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a very busy road.
Where
But they
we
would not be driving on it like they're driving on it if the dude hadn't come up and down with the plow,
right. Right.
because our
Where
road
we
didn't get salted at
yeah.
all.
No, ours didn't get salt. Our like neighborhood didn't get salted. And
Yeah.
so it's just now where it's seeing the light is good.
Hmm.
So and it's
Yeah.
definitely
I
better.
guess.
I think my son Barry's gonna drive to work tomorrow. By him.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
he can drive himself to work tomorrow. So that's good.
Yeah. That's
That's good.
good. It'll be
But
clear enough.
they closed the grocery store. So when they closed the grocery store, you
Yeah.
know, he didn't have to go in
That's
for a
kind of
couple
a big
days.
deal. That doesn't happen often.
No, you don't usually hear of that.
Mm-mm.
Usually if it's just snow, then we
They
usually
usually stay
they
open. Yeah.
yeah, they usually stay open. But with this has been a real
It's
wingding.
been a humdinger
Humdinger, yes, it has.
for sure. Well, also like in 94, there was, it was probably about the same amount of ice,
Okay.
but we didn't have the salt trucks that we have now in Rutherford County, and we didn't have the snow plow people that we have had. We didn't have any of that
Right, right.
in 93 or 94. So
That was
it took that. So they were like, oh, I guess we should get some of that or something. I don't know. But
well,
that,
as their population grew, then their budget grew as well. And
yeah.
then they could handle, they could get more of those kind of things for the
Oh,
countywide.
thank you.
But yeah, that's kind of the big thing is to be able to move around afterwards. But I always
Hmm.
say ice to me is always the great equalizer. Nobody can
Yeah.
go.
No.
Snow, you can go slow. You have to really watch your distances,
Yeah.
don't go straight, just go really slow, poke along, make sure you got plenty of distance between you and everybody else, but you
Right.
can do it. Ice, gravity is your nemesis on ice because it will make you
It's
move in
not
ways
good.
you didn't plan on moving. Ice will just take you where gravity takes you. You
Yeah.
really don't have anything to grip onto to make it go.
Yeah.
So I
And
was
all these
really
people from other places were like, I don't know what the big deal is about this ice. Hmm.
now, yeah, because they have people that come in and take care of stuff. Well, they come right in and take care of it, then that's great. But
Hmm.
maybe they do, maybe they don't. You know,
Yeah.
if they can,
Well,
they
and
will. But
I don't feel like, I mean, did y'all get ice storms up in Indiana?
on occasion, but
Okay.
more snow, a lot more snow, and a lot of drifting snow. Most of the time when we got weather, it was snow squalls. So you
Yeah.
have a blinding
Like just
snow.
don't,
It's
yeah.
like a blinding wind and snow together.
Oh, okay.
But you can't see to drive, and it
Ew.
causes it to be drifts across the road. So then you're hitting all these
Oh,
drifts, and the road will close. You can't tell where the road is. So
oh
like,
gosh.
yeah, so that's more of what you deal with as far as the worst of it is the
Yeah.
snow squalls. But here, I must say I've had more ice here than I ever had growing up. It's
Yeah.
definitely had a lot. You definitely get a lot more ice here in Tennessee than I ever
Hmm.
saw growing up. You might have it once every few years and it would be just a little bit and then but generally it was accompanied with snow and so it was you know what I'm saying, it was something that
Hmm.
was you could at least get the grip on the snow because if you have ice and then you have snow on top you can get a little bit of traction, you can
Yeah.
go again. But
Yeah.
we didn't have that here. It was a skating rink. I always
It was
laugh at those pictures of people on their ice skates
falling.
in on their ice skates playing hockey on their driveways,
Oh, yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that. I love that.
We just walking, just trying to walk from the garage door to the gate.
Oh
Now, the
yeah.
first time we did it before it snowed, it was it was still raining, and we're walking out there and we're trying to like, you could push your foot down and the ice would break. And so if you walk like this, you
Yeah.
could kind of break through the ice and it wasn't, and you'd still maybe slip a little bit. It wasn't so bad. But then yesterday, when we had to go out again to break the ice off of Greg's van, it had snowed on top of it and everything was a block. It was like solid, whatever, because it was still wet. I mean, there's still like water underneath the ice. And so you're trying to walk and you put your foot down, it would go.
Yeah. It goes where it wants to go. You're like, it's very, very not
Oh my
fun.
gosh. Oh my gosh.
And I still really feel for all the people who are still battling it. You know, there's a lot of people in Nashville and west of
Mm,
here. You go west
yeah.
of Rutherford County, uh, 40 miles, and they are still in the thick of trying to recover from all of this. They're
Yeah.
not. They're real. You know, there's a lot of people out there who still are without power. It's still cold. You know, still struggling. So
Yeah. And the trees that are down, it looks like a tornado's gone through there.
it does. It's really
An
tragic. I
icy
mean, it's
tornado.
crazy.
Yeah. They've
Yeah,
lost so many trees.
icy tornado. Yeah, but the trees just couldn't take it. Well, you know, there
Mm-mm.
was a thing where they just planted all of these pear trees. And I really think that you want to see, I wonder how many of those trees, I'm sure it was all kinds of trees, but I
Yeah.
wondered how many of those were the pear trees that they put in the ground in the 90s, that everybody had to have pear trees, you know, and now they're all falling down. Here
Oh,
we
like,
are 30 years later, and they're all, you know, getting knocked down by the ice. Who
yeah.
knows? They might have been planted after the last ice storm.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, it's been 30
93,
something years.
94. Yeah. But that was fun. I was just like, I wonder how many of those are those pear trees that just can't take
That's
it.
so funny. Yeah, I didn't think of that. That was the thing. I don't know. And like, where did those come from?
I don't know. It was just a
It
thing.
was
It
like
became
all of a
like very
sudden they were
fashionable.
everywhere.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was very
Everybody
fashionable.
had to
And they
have them.
are very pretty when they bloom in the spring. I mean, they
Mhm.
are very pretty. They don't smell good, but they're very
No,
beautiful when they're all blooming. But that's about it. They give you
they're
about a week
weak.
and a half, and yeah, and then they're gone, and you're like, and then I think too, like we're saying, like now here we are so many years later, 30 years later, and they're
Yeah.
falling apart. They can't take they can't take the weather at all. I
No.
was really worried about ours. We still have ours in the front yard, and
Hmm.
whoo, I was worried about it. It was getting more. It started out like this, and it was getting more and more and more. And I was like, okay. And then today I
We're like,
noticed it started to go back the other way.
yeah. Oh, there it goes.
So it is getting better, but it
Yeah.
was, you know,
We have these like 60, 70 foot pine trees that are like those straight up pine trees, they're just,
mhm.
they're so tall. And Greg's like, oh my gosh, I'm worried about those because the pine trees they're weaker than like the regular trees. If you're going to see something lose a branch, it's going to be pine trees. And all around here the other morning, I went outside because it was cold, but it wasn't like, it was probably sitting at like 30 degrees or something. So it
Right.
wasn't, in single digits or anything. The wind was blowing a little bit, but it wasn't too bad. And it had like freezing rain. It was freezing rain. It had done it all night long. And so, we got up in the morning and, all the trees were looking like this.
Yeah, that's exactly
And
what they did. Is they're
yeah, they
normally
just
like
kind of
this,
went,
and they just
"Oh."
went,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But over here and our neighbors, they've got big, tall, not the one next to us, but the one next to them. They've got big, tall pine trees in their yard. And I sat there and watched big limbs coming off of it, going into their yard, cracks and pops, and like it sounded like
Yeah.
people shooting guns. It was like pop over here, and it would pop over here, and I try to look, and
Wow.
I couldn't believe that we didn't lose. Like while I was sitting there for 15 minutes,
Listening to it pop and
pop,
crack, snap,
crack,
crackle, and
pop,
pop.
crack. It was all around us. I was like, oh my gosh. But we in the fall, there's a tree out front that we had taken down, and then two trees that were close to our house taken down. And Greg was like, well, it's because we've just got the one was starting to act like it was dying. So we were like, let's go and take it down. But the other two were not. They were okay. And I was like, take my trees down. But I'm kind of glad we did because
Yeah,
we'd have lost some pretty big limbs right up on top of our house. Because
right,
that one
right.
was right over like it was so tall. It was probably 50 feet tall. It was huge.
Wow.
They were
Yeah,
both
yeah.
huge. This one in the front was not as tall, but these two in the back, they were huge.
Hmm.
So I can't even imagine if they had, lost one big limb, it'd have gone probably through the roof up there on Atomic Cassidy.
Right, right.
So I'm glad those were gone.
Yeah, that's kind of what we were thinking too. Like this is really uh something to think about is the limbs in your trees that, we don't necessarily always think
Mhm.
about it. Although we have talked
No,
about it over the last year about trying to get our limbs taken back. We only have one tree. You got
yeah.
like what? You have quite a few, but we only have
Well,
one.
close to the house, we had four.
Yeah.
And then we had like the one that was over here in front of the house.
But
Um, we took it down because it was starting to die.
hmm
The one over there where we parked the cars.
yeah.
So we had to take it down. It's been a few years ago since we took that one down. It was weird too for it to go. But this one over here in the front, that was one, two, three. We've got one over here, but it's far enough away from the house. It wouldn't. I mean, it would have to like fall all the way down before it would hit the house.
Yeah, be a direct hit basically.
Yeah.
That's
And then the
direct.
rest of them are over by the fence. They were all
Ours is
planted on the fence.
Ours is in the front by the driveway and it would fall on our cars.
Yeah.
Or if it didn't fall on our cars,
Or
it
in the
would,
road.
or in the road, or we have a very small yard. So it would be like
Mm,
all over the yard. Like one limb takes up almost the whole yard. So
yeah.
like we really do need to be thinking about getting that topped off. I mean, if nothing else has
Mm-hmm.
come from this, it's like, wow, we really need to take care of that soon. Like, don't
Mm-hmm.
wait on that. And very lucky we didn't have any problems. That's why
I know. See,
we feel like very, very lucky that we didn't have any problems because we were looking, we were eyeballing it. We were
now
looking.
one of our big pine trees lost a couple of big limbs, but I mean, they just fell straight down. They didn't fall like out, but they
Yeah,
weren't huge limbs. Well, I say they weren't huge limbs. I haven't walked out there to look at how big they are. So
yeah,
I'm really not sure.
yeah. Not taking a trip out there to do that yet,
Not,
but
no, that's not in the plan for a little while longer. Maybe
no. And
next
as long
week
as
or
it's
so, I
not
might walk
hurting
out there.
anything, it's fine. It's
No,
not
it's not hurt
not
anything.
bothering anybody or anything. It's
No,
fine.
it's all good. I tell you something else is I'm gonna be on Greg Payne about getting a new fireplace logs, gas logs,
Yeah, I think
because
that's a great idea.
we
Yeah,
were sweating, losing electricity, and we didn't have any kind of heat source. Nothing.
yeah. And that will also help your electric too. Like if you get it, you can use it in the winter. It helps relieve
Mm-hmm.
take a little pressure off of your electric heaters. So yeah,
Yep.
it's a good idea. And they can bring a propane tank and just put it in your backyard and stuff. I don't know if you guys have that kind
We've
of
got
stuff,
it.
but
We've got gas line
okay, well then there you go.
because our
That's
heat's gas.
much easier for you than it would be for us because we don't have access to it. So we couldn't
Yeah.
do it. But yeah, that's a great idea.
Hmm.
And it made you
Well, the
think. I'm going to
logs.
say this whole thing has made me think about things differently for sure. About like
Yeah.
what would you do if you lost your electricity? How would you
Hmm.
handle if you couldn't, if your water went out? How would you
Yeah.
handle, you know, these
Hmm.
different scenarios that you really don't think about on a daily basis?
Did you see a video about filling your tub up with water?
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
And
So
I
you can
never even
flush your
thought about
toilet.
that. I'm like,
Yeah.
that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
It's so
Yeah.
smart.
We're, we're, we definitely put water in jugs. Like we have some, I would say
We do
probably about
too.
5 or 6 gallons of water
Yep.
that we can just get to if we needed it.
Hmm.
And like if I don't use it, that's probably what I'll do to it is just use it to flush the toilet if we wind up
Yeah.
not needing it. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, that was like one of the first things I did.
Yep.
Get some water, just extra water just in case.
Hmm.
Just because you got to brush your teeth and all
Yeah.
those kind of things. So
Yeah.
like all of a sudden everything gets real simple. Like, okay, how am
Hmm.
I going to solve this simple,
How am I going to do this? And then I
yeah.
saw another thing where they took a muffin pan and they had tea lights in it and they put a cooling rack over it and then they could cook on it. I was like,
Yeah.
I can have those things.
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen them where they use bricks too, and they put bricks on there.
Uh-huh.
And then a lady put her upside down crock pot not
Yeah,
the
for a heat
metal part,
source.
but they use it for
The
to help
liner.
heat the room. Yeah, the liner,
Yeah.
the crock liner. And she
Hmm.
had it upside down and they were getting warm off of that. And I thought that was
Yeah.
pretty smart.
It is pretty
Although
smart.
you really have to be careful with any kind of fire that you
Yeah.
have
You can't have it on like when you're
yeah,
asleep.
and you can't you have to be careful with the what is the O2? Is that what it is?
Mhm.
No.
Yeah, CO2.
NO2, CO2. Thank you.
Yeah.
CO2. Yeah,
Carbon
you gotta be
monoxide.
careful. Yeah. So I know you have to be careful with that there. That's the other part of it is if you got the fire,
Yep.
you have to just have something out there that will let you know if it's in the air, a
Hmm.
detector. But that's part of why you think about it, our parents live with these kind of questions all the time and how were they going to
Yeah.
handle it, and they made it, so
Yeah.
we'll
Well, all
figure
of
it out.
our like my grandparents had a wood stove,
Yeah, that's
and
my
that
parents had it for years, had
yeah.
wood stove.
Hmm.
So we
That thing would
always,
run you out. Oh my
yeah,
gosh, it
it was
was a
too
lot.
hot. We'd have to open the windows.
Yeah, just run you out.
Yeah, it was so hot. Like
Hmm.
it was, it would get
Yeah.
cranked up, and it would be so hot. So
Hmm.
yeah, but they really are lifesavers in a pinch now. They will definitely
Yeah, because
keep.
you could cook on them too.
Yep.
Um she put water on it to boil the water sometimes if she just
Hmm.
didn't want to
Keep
turn
your
the stove
coffee
on.
pot right there. Keep your coffee
Yeah.
pot, or they'd have a metal
Yeah.
coffee pot. Keep it on there.
Yeah.
Stay hot. Yeah. And I remember we always put all of our, like, we'd get oranges and stuff and peel, and we'd put all the peelings in there, and it would start to smell like that oranges and apples. And
No.
kid always kept the thing of water on top of it to help
Yeah,
evaporate
because
into
it's
the air
dry.
because it's
Hmm.
so dry.
Yep.
And we'd throw our peelings in there. Like if we peeled an apple, we'd throw the apple
Cool.
peels in there, and it would start to smell like apples and
Yeah.
oranges in the house, or cinnamon. Like if you had some
Yeah. Throw some
cinnamon
cinnamon
in
in
there.
there.
Yeah, it was always smelled good, like a simmer pot. But
Yeah.
you know, but we were just kids. We were being ornery.
That's not ornery.
That was fun. It was those good old days. But yeah, I think too, I really appreciate the fact that I don't have to haul that wood up from one area to the other area. That was the other part of it. It was always so much work. Like we were
Yeah.
always out there bringing wood up. Like it just didn't
Hmm.
matter. We were always constantly dragging wood up. We had wheelbarrows and we had all kinds of ways to do
Yeah.
it, but it was still just so much work, and you'd have to
It's
keep it
hard.
from
Wood is heavy.
wood is heavy. It was, I mean, it was good for us, I guess, and so
Yeah.
you have to
Yeah.
learn how to cut the wood, and you have to learn how
Yeah.
to handle the wood and keep it dry. And we have a big
Yeah.
box out front that was, we put the wood in there, and yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. It takes a lot of
It
work,
is a
but it
lot.
does work good. Like it's very
Hmm.
dependable. That's
Yeah.
the other part of it. It was so
Yeah.
dependable, and it was
Yeah.
like in some ways cheaper
Yeah.
um, than it would have been to like have propane tank and have everything coming out of that
Right.
propane tank. Really
Yep.
supplemented the propane, because that's what I grew up with, was propane.
Was a propane tank. Yeah.
Yeah, and so like it was always better. We have a furnace or whatever, and
Hmm.
it was propane, but when they put the wood stove in, everything got, I'm sure it was much cheaper to do
Oh
that than
yeah.
it was much cheaper and very effective. Like it really made a difference in the house. But it would get
Yeah.
so hot you'd have to open a door. Like it would be like 85 degrees in there, and we'd be
Oh my
like,
gosh.
you know, shedding our
Choking
clothes.
us.
Yeah. Yeah. Good old days.
I know. I know. My grandparents, their stove was huge. It was almost as tall as I was. It was like it sat up on their little hearth. Their little hearth was probably about, I don't know, a couple inches tall.
Yeah.
And then that thing was big. It was a
Yeah.
big, I don't know what kind of stove. I think it was an
Was it like
Ashley.
a
I don't
big
know. That sticks
box?
out of my brain.
Was it
It's a
like a big
big
box?
brown box.
Box?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yep.
And you opened it up and had a door and it swung open. And you threw the wood in there and it was the fire was going in there. And then I guess the ashes dropped down and you could take the drawer up
Yep.
from the
And you can
bottom
take the drawer and pull it
and
out
dump
and
it
then go
out.
outside and dump out the ashes. So we put them in a
Yep.
bucket sometimes. We did, and then fill the bucket up and take them out. Yeah, well, that
Hmm.
was my jobs. I did a lot of ashes. Had to be careful because there might be a hot ember in there or something. So
Oh
you have to be
yeah.
really careful. But that was one of the things I did, and I would sweep it up with the little broom and take them out. And dump it out, and there's a certain place to dump them out. And yeah. And then I wasn't so much, I was the help that bring it up to the front porch, but dad would pick what he wanted to go in there. He was our fire keeper for sure. And he
Yeah.
kept track of all of that and always did a fabulous job. Like I very rarely remember it ever going out on us because
Yeah.
he was so good about going up and messing with it and then going up, like it was
Hmm.
just part of his day. He was the fire keeper and he kept it really well. He did great. And I think he always enjoyed working in the wood.
Like that fire.
Yeah, he liked it. He liked all that. So he was happy to do it, but it was a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot compared to going over to my thermostat and put
And going,
punch the we're so spoiled. We have such good lives.
I tell you, I'm grateful though that my poor brother, his they live in Fairview, and they lost their power, then they got it back, and then lost it again for like 6 hours straight. He didn't have any heat.
Wow. Wow.
Yikes.
Yikes is right. Wow.
Ooh.
Well,
And
I'm
he was
glad
just
they got
cold.
it back. I'm glad they got it back because there's a lot of them out there who are still out. So
Yeah.
I'm really glad they got it back and they're home and safe and happy and warm. And your
Hmm.
parents were
Hmm.
okay because I know they live west of here too.
They
They
have
were
well,
okay.
they have a fireplace. They have a
Oh
gas
yeah, yeah,
fireplace.
yeah. So that's
They have
really
the
good.
logs. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they
That's
just have
great.
a remote. They go kick. It goes.
Yeah, good for them. I'm happy to hear it. That kept them nice and toasty warm, and they
They
didn't have
were
to worry
roasty
about the.
toasty warm.
Oh
They didn't.
yeah,
They were fine. If they'd have lost their lights, they'd have been okay.
yep. They'd have been in there with a flashlight, but they'd have had their fireplace.
They'd have had the fireplace. They'd have been fine. I was like,
Yep.
man, if I could go to Nene and Papa's house, that's where I would be.
That's where.
If we
Well,
lost
that's a
our.
thing to look for in the future is figure out a way to get you guys one. That'd be a
Yep.
great thing. You will
Hmm.
not regret that.
Well, the logs that are in there, we bought them years and years and years, like right after we bought this house.
Yeah.
But they weren't ventless. You had to have the flue open.
Uh-huh.
And so all the heat goes up the chimney. So
Yeah.
they were real pretty, but they really weren't for heat. So
They were more for
they're
looks.
kind of useless.
They weren't throwing your heat back at you out the room.
No, not really.
Right.
A little, but not much. So like when that happened to us before and we lost our power for like, I don't know, it was a night, I think, that we didn't have power, like the blizzard when it was either 93, I guess it was 93.
Yeah.
We, I don't, I'm trying to remember, did we have them in 93 or was it the ice storm? We might have not had them at the ice storm and lost and the blizzard and lost our power. And then we were like, we're getting gas logs that work. And so we bought them. And so then when we had the ice storm and we lost our power, we laid in front of the fireplace. Greg was like, I don't remember that. I'm like, how do you not remember how cold it was in here? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I mean, we
But
were young,
his
but
brain,
still.
he was just, yeah. Yeah.
I said, we had to lay in front of this fireplace because it was so cold and it really wasn't that warm.
Right. It
But
wasn't
it was
throwing
the
out enough
only,
heat for you at all.
not
Not really.
really, but it
With a
was all
little
we
one.
had.
And you probably had a little one at that point in time, right?
No, I was pregnant.
Okay.
I hadn't
Yeah.
had her until May. But then there was another, like when the tornadoes came through in 96, she was 2. And that knocked our power out too. And it went from 70 degrees in the morning. It was in January, but it was like
Yeah.
70s, early 70s, like lower 70s in the morning. And then by that night, after the tornadoes came through and the power went out and the temperature dropped to about 30 degrees and and it was cold. And so we
Yeah.
turned on, we turned that on and it didn't, we were like, this really isn't working. And so we had a 2-year-old then and we were like, we're just going to mom and daddy's. We're not fooling with this. So we just
Right.
packed up and we barely got out, like, because it had gone through up there at Black Fox and, it took the roof off of Black Fox and it took a bunch of
Woo.
roofs and shingles and stuff off of the houses over there in Keeneland. So
Wow.
up through there,
That's
I
not
remember,
far from you at all.
I remember driving through and like for years there were 3, or maybe it was just 2 light poles that were going like this.
They
And
were
they just
crooked.
Yeah, they just stayed that way. One of them was not as much, and the other one was like a lot, and it stayed crooked for years. And I thought,
Yeah.
are
So
they
every
ever going
time
to
you
fix
drive
that? They're
by,
never
it
going to fix
tricks you.
that.
Yeah, it ticks your
Oh
brain.
yeah,
You're like, yep, I remember.
yep,
I know why that's crooked.
yep.
Woo.
And we got up here to the light at Rutherford Boulevard, and the bottom half of the light was like it had a stoplight, it had the red light, but the yellow light and the red light, or the yellow light and the green light, were gone. It was just gone. It was just with that one little light, and I was like,
Oh wow.
"This is bad. We need to get out of
This is
here." And so
bad.
this is bad because we didn't know. This was when we're standing there watching what we thought was a tornado go across the field in front of our house, but we were like, is that a tornado? And Shannon's like, mommy. I'm like, go get in the closet. Telling my 2-year-old to go get in the closet. We're standing there looking at it going,
I know.
is
You
that
just
a tornado?
it's
I
like
mean,
it's such
it's
a
brown.
surreal moment. It's such a surreal moment. It's like your brain isn't comprehending the danger or something.
No,
It's just
it's
like,
like we're
what
going,
is what? I know, I know.
we're like, it didn't look like a tornado, but it's like turning, the clouds are turning. I don't know. And we stood there and then we look and our neighbors are on their porch doing the same. We weren't on the porch, we were just standing at the door, but they were on the porch going, they were like,
Yeah.
we're so dumb.
But you don't like it's surreal. I don't know how else to say it. Because when we
Yeah.
saw the one that went by our house, that's exactly the way we felt. Like it was surreal. It was like, is this really happening?
Yeah.
Like, is that what I think it is? And I thought it was smaller. I know this is gonna sound weird. And it was smaller and closer, but it was actually
Yeah.
just a little bit farther away and much bigger. So you
Yeah.
can't tell how big it
Uh-uh.
is and how
Uh-uh.
close it is. You can't like judge those things.
No.
And I had always figured that if I saw one coming, well,
I
then I
would
could go the
know.
other way, opposite direction kind of thing. But you can't judge very well. And they move, they're not like going in a straight line. It's kind of like a lumbering
Yes.
falling up and down thing. It's not at all like you think it's going to be. It's just
Yeah.
not. Well, in conclusion, we'd like to say we survived the ice storm of 2026,
Ice Mageddon.
Ice Mageddon, and we hope you did too. And please let us hear your stories. We want to know what's going on out there. Like,
Yeah.
subscribe, comment, all of the good things.
All the things. We'll see you guys soon.
All right, bye bye.
Bye.